Hello, it's Johnny from Johnny's Book Reviews, a site to help inspire you guys to go read, so go read. In this video, I'm going to review Almost Gone by John Baldwin and Mackenzie Baldwin. Does it pass or not? So for it to pass, or for it to be a good book, it has to do three things. Number one, it has to catch my attention the first couple of pages, and if it doesn't, I'll actually stop reading the book and never touch it again. Number two, it has to carry my attention throughout the entire book, and if it does, then it's a good book. If it doesn't, then it is not a good book and it doesn't pass my system. Number three, it has to do one and two, and it also has to have a majority of positive things. So, for example, it has to have good character development, has to have good characters, it has to have really good dialogue, it has to have a powerful story. The author has to have good values. The author actually has to do what they're teaching, etc. It doesn't have to have all those things, but it has to have majority of positive things. All right, let's get into it. Almost Gone by John Baldwin and Mackenzie Baldwin. You're up the bat. Does it pass or not? So first things first is, did it catch my attention? Actually, what caught my attention was this photo. I was like, what's this book about, right? Is this about a high school graduation, or is this about a college graduation? And I was like, okay. And then I saw the title and I was like, how does this picture correlate to the title? And I was actually really curious about that. And then I started reading the book. And the first couple pages talks about Mackenzie talking with an FBI agent. I was like, whoa, what the fuck is happening here? And I was like, okay, let's just keep on reading. And then about the 20th page, I got to where I was like, okay, let's read the insert here. And I read that and I was like, okay, I got a little bit more information about the book. Let's continue reading the book. And so that leads into the second thing, where did it carry my attention throughout the entire book? And as you can see, I still have a bookmark in the book. I am still on page 118 and have been on that page for the last month and a half. And I've read and had time to read about 10 to 12 books over that time frame. I just haven't got back to this one. And I think the real reason behind that is because this is a religious book. It talks a lot about religion, specifically Muslim and Christianity. And I thought that the authors were attacking Muslim religion, but that's definitely not what they're trying to do. What they were trying to do and provide a lot of information about, and their perspective on, is about sexual trafficking. And so what really happened was Mackenzie was talking to a guy in Kosovo, and this guy wanted Mackenzie to fly to Kosovo. And what John was thinking, and that, I think the FBI agents and everyone were thinking, it was like, okay, this is a red flag, because Kosovo is actually a country high in sexual trafficking. And so John, I believe, prevents Mackenzie in actually going to Kosovo, and that leads into this picture, I believe. So this picture actually is Mackenzie at her graduation, high school senior graduation. And what was going to happen was Mackenzie was going to go to Kosovo right before her high school graduation. So she wasn't going to graduate. And what really happened was John, the father, was trying to prevent Mackenzie from going, and then he does, I believe, and that Mackenzie was almost gone, and that she could have been potentially a victim of sexual trafficking. Now, I did research a lot about Kosovo, and actually a country high in sexual trafficking, and it has increased substantially since the production of this book in 2017. And I was like, wow, that is crazy. So because of the idea around sexual trafficking, I will actually probably continue reading this book. It will probably get a little bit more interesting, considering the book is almost done. Like, I have 110-ish more pages. So I'm kind of interested in seeing how that is, and how an FBI agent gets involved, and how Mackenzie and John talk a little bit more about sexual trafficking, and I'm really curious about what's really going to happen. So I'm going to review this book on my site in more depth and detail, johnnysbookreviews.com. So stay tuned for that. I'm also going to review the book on my Instagram in the next couple months and tell you guys what I really thought of it. So stay tuned for that. But since it did not carry my attention throughout the entire book, it did not past my system, so it wasn't a good book, but I'll let you guys know in those two terms of the book and how it went with Johnny'sBookReviews.com and my Instagram. Alright, like this video, subscribe. I will do more reviews over nonfiction books as well as fiction books. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and stay tuned for the next one. I will review Relentless by Tim Grover. Actually, the trainer that trained Michael Jordan, that is him, and review that book for you guys next week. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys.